wait to get, especially on the EMC side.
Speech on. 0. Pause video.
Also,
Speech off.
in case you had heard that the
Speech on. Take picture. Pause video.
in federal funds.
Take picture. Pause video.
Well, taxiway and lighting projects, so that's really exciting. This is on the heels of Fuel Farm.
Screen curtain on.
They're doing great things out at the airport, so congratulations to them. A lot of projects, both underway and in the future for the airport. Some of us attended the LEAD conference in Lincoln a few weeks ago. It was short, about a day and a half. Most of it seemed to revolve around what's going on in the legislature. There is some guidance that's been released by the state regarding rural health care funding. There's $218 million to the state of Nebraska. That's all the way through every year until through 2030. So we need to review those guidelines and see how it might apply to the city of Nebraska City. I know, Dr. Freeze, you probably are keeping a good eye on that as well. And so we need to sit with our staff and maybe some of our partners to determine the best use for those funds. Because I know a lot of it will revolve around just that rural health care and some of the crisis that we all face in staffing and funding. Let's see. Moving into the budget. I know last month this came up and the mayor and I touched on this briefly before the meeting. In the EMS department, there is an expenditure in the repairs and maintenance equipment vehicle line item that took that well over the budgeted amount. That was some damage done to ambulance that has been repaired and paid for. What confused me prior was in the revenue section, couldn't see where.
Camera. Stop recording. Viewfinder. Focus on locked image.
In it, that was actually for the rental for the the ambulance that we had to rent while it was being repaired. So I went and talked to Patty right before the meeting, and we did receive, I want to say it's $89,000 for the repairs, but we received that right at the end of the fiscal year. So around September, I want to say 24, we received a check for $82,900 for those repairs. So, good news, bad news, we did receive the repair came in right at the end of the last fiscal year. So I assume we would have to transfer that out of reserves into this fiscal year, or have it show up on this fiscal year.
I don't remember, were we anticipating being invoiced before the end of last fiscal year and it didn't come?
I think we were anticipating that we were gonna get invoiced in this fiscal year. I didn't anticipate that we would receive reimbursement as promptly as we did.
Yeah, I think we thought both of them were gonna be on the next fiscal year.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to validate that that payment did hit at the end of last fiscal year.
Correct.
Have to see how we added into the revenue for this year. Because right now it's a $70,000 deficit.
Right.
That's killing the department to balance by the end of the year. So we need to make sure that money's there and that it hasn't been obligated to state payments. And then administratively get the laws on that.
Right.
Okay.
We've already started discussions really about the budget. It really never stops, but Katie and I have met. We've started reviewing some of the revenues. We have already started hearing from some of the departments. I know we have a meeting tomorrow with the staff at the Wildwood Period House to discuss some of their concerns coming into the next fiscal year. Of course, I think we're all kind of keeping an eye on what's going on with the legislature, because at one time, one of our funding sources that has kind of been depleted over the years, being the equalization funds. Last year was about $246,000, and we weren't sure what the legislature was gonna do with that. There was a proposal to possibly eliminate it, for, cities of the first class. There was a proposal to just reduce it by a percentage point, and when we received how that would affect us, it wasn't as bad as anticipated. It would drop it down, I believe, about $15,000 from what we had last year. I don't think it's been, settled on to date, so I'll keep an eye on that and see where we land with our equalization funds. Again, we're 42% through the fiscal year. Going through the departments, it looks like we're holding steady. The departments, again, have a recurring theme, are doing really well under the circumstances. Any of the salary line items that are of concern is typically because of, I mentioned this last month, staff shortages, training. We have people retiring, as we've all seen, so before they retire, you typically bring somebody in, get them trained up, there's shifts you can go up on, so that's gonna have an impact on the budget. And then, really, about the only remaining capital project is the West Side project, there have been some progress on that, in the last few weeks. Other than that, I don't believe there's any other capital projects to report on.
Is the signage and the Kimmel lighting done?
Kimmel lighting is done, the signage is done, and, will be on the west side.
What business project is 24?
And I know I brought it up last time, the backhoe,
Who's paid for and done?
it's done. Okay. Cardiac monitors.
The ones that we can afford have been purchased.
Okay. We didn't get the full quantity, but we purchased them. Any other questions?
6 notifications. Facebook. Now. Facebook. Sandra Watson sent you a friend request. Facebook. Now. Facebook. Sandra Watson sent you a friend request.
Lunch. And also acknowledge receipt of utility claims for the period ending February 28, 2026. And the general manager, John Ward, is here. Any questions of him? Moving on then. New business. Resolution 3004-26 on the use of $115,000 of Nebraska City Economic Development Program growth funds as a loan to Nebraska City Coffee LLC, doing business as The Root.
Resolution number 3004-26, to use funds from the Nebraska City Growth Fund in accordance with the City of Nebraska City Economic Development Plan. Whereas the City of Nebraska City has received growth funds through the City of Nebraska City Economic Development Plan created pursuant to the Local Option Municipal Economic Development Act, LD 840. And whereas growth funds for economic development are allowed to be used for making funding awards to eligible businesses in accordance with the City of Nebraska City Economic Development Plan, program, and governing regulations. And whereas the Citizens Advisory Review Committee and Program Director have recommended approval of a loan application by an eligible business for performance-based partially forgivable loan of $115,000 to open a coffee shop at 900 Central Avenue sought through the Nebraska City Economic Development Plan. Whereas the City Council of Nebraska City conducted a public hearing upon the proposed use of growth funds, therefore be resolved by the City Council of Nebraska City that the obligation of growth funds is approved as applied in the amount of $115,000 in a low-interest loan subject to terms outlined in the forgivable loan agreement attached here to as Exhibit A, and the mayor is hereby authorized to execute all necessary and appropriate documents on behalf of the city and the City of Nebraska City Economic Development Program to complete the project funding for Nebraska City Coffee LLC, DBA The Root, contingent upon the approval of the city attorney as to perform.
1st, 2029. Loan shall be eligible for partial forgiveness of up to $50,000 of the outstanding principal balance or the remaining principal balance, whichever is less, provided the borrower satisfies the following conditions.
What are the remaining principal balance? I haven't seen the amortization schedule on that, but it's close to about 50, I think, by that time.
It's going to be,
46, 48.
yeah, less than 50.
So it's based off the amortization.
Yeah.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Osowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Whalen,
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp,
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes. Pass, Steve, John, good luck.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And I'm sure your angel there helps you do well.
Appreciate it, thank you guys.
Heard you called a lot of things first time.
First time I'm here.
Item 17, discussion slash action to vacate a portion of the right of way located north of the property at 1104 South Ocean.
Marty Silva, construction facility manager. So we had a request from the citizen. They own all of these blocks all these lots in that block. City attorney looked at this and there's 2 remaining lots in the block. He just, suggested that the entire block be vacated when we move it.
Vacating the right of ways. Are we vacating land or vacating the right of way? Or is this the term, the right of way is the land?
The right of way is land. And it's a platted alley, so heck with that. And so, I guess we would say that we would be vacating out the lots 1 through 8, 9 through 16.
On this one?
Correct.
Same as the other one, is there the next agenda item, is the same law?
I think these are what different lot numbers for you. 1 through 8.
It's 1 through,
This one is the south porch.
Mr. Hiller owns lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Yeah,
that's a different one. I'm working off of block 38.
that's the next agenda.
You're the next item. I don't know if you read it. I'm sorry, I'm up here when Mr. Hiller was trying to talk.
Stop.
Sorry, I'm gonna meet Cecil.
Viewfinder. Focus unlocked. Viewfinder. Focus. Viewfinder. Focus unlocked.